issue with the front inner tie rods here. We ordered them for a 94 to 04 Cobra, and this is a 93, so we're going to go back to the 93 inner tie rod, and as you can tell, it's just a little shorter. And this is kind of like the big difference right now. So when we set up our tie rods, our hubs here are pigeon-toed out, so we can't go any further because these guys are just way too long. So we're going to go ahead and replace them with these guys and put these to the side, and hopefully somebody or somewhere will use them. And then we're going to see if we have a little bit of silicone, because what we should do is take the spacers and silicone them on the rotors, so they're not flopping around in there when we take off the tires on and off, because we're going to be going up and down, because John's still got to get underneath here.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Rethink this for guys like with my hand size, and you can't really see the pin. Technician does not install this right, which should never happen. These little guys right here are just safety, so it doesn't fly out all the way. There's a groove right in here where these guys ride inside of it, so it doesn't let the tie rod completely unscrew and come out. That's why we're putting them in, but they're so tiny. Front driver, front passenger, cool. Because we don't want to have any rubbing issue, and due to the size of the tires, we might still. So I'm just going to put these on here, just kind of glue them here, give them a little silicone so we can take them off if we don't need them. But just so we can roll this bad boy around. Gonna button it down a little bit just so we don't lose any bolts, so we can roll it into the paint booth. But I did see like they have one in there, turbo setup with the Odyssey engine in it. So, you know, do something a little different. Hopefully. Here we have our Viking Performance coilover system that we're using on the rear IRS. It should work out. Hopefully we don't run into any issues. There's a complete kit. Let's slap it up here and see what we get. That's nice. All right. Coils. Coil number 2. Shar. It's a much better control arm. I mean, a much better tie rod. Yeah, you're man. All right. It looks like it'll work because we're using it for the 93. Yep. Much bigger. I'll sign my life away now. I don't have a pen. This thing was a pain in the ass, but we got it up here.
Well, once it's all finished.
I know, man. Can't wait for that.
For real. Have a good one, though.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what we have here is our biking coilover setup, and we're about to start to the installation on these guys. You can tell they're double adjustable for rise and shock, so it's like when it hits and when it comes back up. So what we're gonna do, you want to run the little guy first. This guy's adjusted, and he has like a little lip right here, and that just gives it the spacing in between this guy so they don't seize up. So you just want to bring him down here, like so. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring the other guy. This guy has a bigger perch. This is where your spring perch sits. Your spring will sit up here. And then we're just gonna ride him down as well too. These guys are what's gonna be bringing the spring up and down. All right. Now, they also gave us two shims here and a bearing. So the reason that we're gonna use these, it allows for the spring to be adjusted at a much smoother pace. We're not going to stuff these with grease due to the fact that if we're running, we don't want grease because grease attracts dirt. We don't want to be adjusting these with little particles of dirt and we mess up the bearing. So we're just going to install them dry. First, we're also going to stick in our little bushing down in here. They supplied us with this guy. Alright, and basically what he does, he's just going to come sit in here like so, and then we're going to lock him in place. And then we have an extra shim that'll sit inside of him for a 5/8 bolt, which will go across and get us all set up. So that's what we're going to do right now. Once we get this all set up, we're going to start to install it. Let's check it out. I think we'll get my pliers. Oh, there they are. It's a little groove in here where it falls in place. There it is. Go ahead and turn them around. There it is. Won't come out. Sits in there nice and snug. When we go to install our bolt, we'll slide in our extra shim. Without it, we'll have way too much play in there. Now that we got our adjusters in, we'll put in our thrust washer. Again, we're gonna run these dry so we don't damage. As you can tell, these are tiny little pin bearings. If you get dirt in this, you know, if we put them with grease and they start getting dirty and, you know, you start crunching dirt in here, it's not going to be a good thing. So we're putting them in dry. Another thrust washer. And now our coil. Again, say if we go to adjust, nice smooth transition, no binding. And then we bring in this. And that's your basic installment. And now we'll just run it to the top. And of course we'll set up ride height later. But for right now, we just want to assemble them and get them installed. And there you have it. Now we can go ahead and install it. For the top part, we got our 2 spacers washers here, our 2 grommets. Let's see if we can install it. Yeah, hold it right there, please. There we go. Now we just gotta put the nut on top, and our rear coilovers are done. We may have to do a little bit of clearance adjustment on the top here because we don't want to. I mean, it's got clearance, but we'll need to really get in there and just remove a little piece here. I don't want it to scrape or damage anything on these coilovers, but there it is. Gotta prime them. All right. Hardware. Nope. There we go. Cool. Perfect. I won't need to go all the way down with it. See what I mean? Nice and smooth. Then underkill. take two. Voila.
That car doesn't smoke show so easily because it's the drums in the back, you know. Drums really don't stop shit, you
Yeah.
know.
They don't hold much of anything.
Huh?
They don't hold much of anything.
Right. It is horrible, like such little contact. But when that car does a smoke show, man, that thing, hey, those tires got so hot when I did a smoke show, I had yellow smoke coming out of my tires. My buddy recorded it on his phone. The whole block was filled with smoke. Well, we can have some commentary audio in the back. We got Saul here putting on the wheel, commentary. You see him connecting the lug nuts. Now he's taking the socket to connect the lug nut. Audio commentary, right, Sammy?
There we go. Alright. You see what I mean? We glued the spacer up here due to the fact that we were having a little rub issue with these bigger tires in front right here on the spring. So we just siliconed it, added a little dabs of silicone, so we're not fighting the spacer and the rotor when we're trying to install the tires. So it's actually pretty centered and it's not jingling around in there. That's why we put a little bit of silicone on them, so it just stays on there. We may remove them later, but for right now, since we need to move the car around, get it into paint, this will work out just fine. And since it's silicone, it's easy to remove. You can tell, man, like, we got the alignments almost dead on. And thanks to Mike over there from TKO. Thanks for the tip, buddy. But yeah, man, this is starting to look good. Just right there. Actually, I may be able to do it with the spacer. I'm gonna put the spacer on it because it still looks like it's rubbing back here. It looks like it won't move too far because it's gonna catch that screw right there. Not a whole lot of thread, but just enough to get it to roll around. And then we'll work those more so studs, and we should be okay. Maybe. I don't know if it's, let me make some room up front. I want to squish something. Uh-oh. She's on the ground.
Tell me about it. How long has it been up?
I want to say about 3 months. Took me about a month to do that rear IRS, kind of gut it out, take off all those rubber bushings, and we ran into some issues getting some of the kits that we needed to press in those access bearings to the knuckles. So it's been up here about 3 months, and it's good to see it hit the ground because now we can roll it around, get ready for paint. And we can, alrighty, yeah, buddy. This guy, my friend there, and this guy, yeah. Now, I'm just gonna get them down, but we need to adjust the whole rear end. So, they're not gonna be like crazy tight, but they will be. There we go. Let's get this guy. We still have to adjust. He's still a little off. We have to adjust toe and camber. But let's see now. All right. I have to say, it's very little that you would have to roll out, but man, when he comes down, this fender would probably line up, I want to say about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch right above it.
Okay.
I mean,
When you adjust,
yeah, once we adjust it, you know, we still have to adjust because you can see the tire still sticking out like that. We still have to adjust the coil over and whatnot. But yeah, it's tight in there.